Hello everyone and welcome to our newest update video. My name is Jake the Voice Parr and I am the lead writer for Timesplitters Rewind. It has been a few months since we last caught up and, well, it has been arguably the most productive. You might have said that for the last few updates, but that's just because, well, we've really got a strong footing now. We have effectively caught up in every department except two, and we'll dive into what the team has been up to. But first, a quick look at two of the departments that have made immense progress. It is worth noting that in our September update, we mentioned the possibility of launching with more than half of the maps using blank grey box textures. Well, without further ado, as you may have noticed and heard, not only have we compiled a plethora of new environments, we've also got some new music from our composer to complement it. For those following our social media, you may have also heard this track. In an attempt to continue our holistic feel for Rewind, we are combining elements of the series that best represent the essence we are aiming for. So you may hear a riff on the Future Perfect Arcade Custom finish for Arcade Custom but the Timesplitters 2 Challenge/Story victory when completing a single player event. Believe it or not, there are even more tracks that we've prepared, but more on those later. So, in line with our department catch-up, we had to make some changes to our character animation pipeline. Unfortunately, we are in such a lacking of resources that we needed to create default animations for each character type, which, as of right now, shows both male and female. We don't expect that this will entirely change leading up to launch, so eventually don't be shocked to see repeated animations. We felt that this was better than, oh fine, it's not like I've got much choice in the matter, for every character. Moving outside of character select, we've got changes to the bot and weapon sets, which now allow for fully saved custom sets. This means that you can create your own set, leave the game, come back, and play with the same set. Currently, we only have support for one set. This may change depending on resources. We've also changed around our UI in some areas, specifically here, the map select and game mode select. You'll see that we've tried to modernize the UI a bit. This does a few things. It provides more description about the content, provides less player input, makes it easier to see on larger, more modern screens, and it just looks like it was built with modern technology in mind rather than a classic 4:3 display. You'll see the game mode select will showcase a video showing how each game type plays out. We haven't shot any of these videos yet, but expect to see those here when you hover over each game mode. Moving along with more menu changes. Oh, what do you know? It is a PC game after all. Yes, you can turn off motion blur. Completely mind-blowing stuff right here in Timesplitters Rewind, kids. And in our gameplay options menu, we've got a selection now for entering cheat codes. We don't have any silly cheat codes implemented at the moment, like big heads or human gun noises, but we're currently using this for another system. So what is that system, you may ask? Well, we've got unlocks. Before we dive into unlocks, you'll notice that we've made a lot of changes in our story menu. We've added our custom story menu music, and thanks to our environment artist, Simon, we've got a brand new environment for the story menu. You may recognize it from the old Timesplitters 2 space station. Within the menu itself, you'll notice some items are grayed out entirely. This is because, well, we haven't unlocked them. As you complete more story missions, you'll unlock new ones just like in the originals. At the moment, we do not have difficulty-specific unlocks for story, but that will likely change. You'll notice we've redone how we've had our arcade leagues structured. We have 28 unique arcade leagues, each unlocking the following league in the subsequent tier and series. We have even designed new arcade leagues to leverage more of our content within the Timesplitters 1 package, such as Zones on Mansion in our new league, Zoned Out. The same can be applied to our challenges. Each bronze trophy unlocks the following challenge. What are some of those challenges? Well, let's have a look.
3, 2, 1, go!
There is one last challenge we've got to show you, but it's worth noting that this one is currently not implemented into our base game, who gave us permission to showcase their work in this video. This may or may not integrate into our released version. So, as you may have noticed, Cortez Can't Jump has began progress. We're essentially jumping around the series where it makes sense, so creating new challenges or arcade-only maps is not out of the question for us. It helps us develop our systems with the future in mind, and our content team works rather separately from the systems team, so both can go hand in hand. We've also begun work on setting up new weapons in-game. We've been able to replace any old implementation of weapons that we had for our newer counterparts, ensuring that we are not using any borrowed content. In a similar vein, we started to give our game more life in other areas as well.
3, 2, 1, go!
Although some of the original Timesplitters titles lacked sound effects in certain spaces, we feel it helps breathe additional life into these areas and provides a richer experience, especially for those wearing headphones. The ambient noise gives us just that little bit of extra flavour. Well, wrapping up, we have a few things to go over. As you may have noticed, while we got caught up on many of the departments, there are still some we still need significant resources for. Here are the roles we still need help for: character artists, character animators, VFX artists, environment artists, technical designers, content designers, and cinematic artists. For the cinematic artist role, we hope to add in our own touch to how we kick off Timesplitters 1 story levels. Perhaps you can imagine, but more on that later. Before we spin off into our typical end of update showcase, we have one last thing to say. Taking a look at our video, you're probably wondering, outside of character animations and the like, well, what's left for Timesplitters 1? Well, it depends on how we want to release it is the complicated answer, but what it means for the community is we're ready. We're finally there and ready for QA. After the long-winded history of this project, we're finally in a spot where it makes sense to start having people get their hands on it. So if you have an interest in being a part of our initial tests, you can express this in our Discord, but we will have to have a very limited amount of entries, likely less than 50 testers. The reason for this is to get controlled feedback and limit exposure of unready content. Likely we will bring people aboard who have been within the Discord community for a long time, but this is not fully set in stone and the developers will reach out with more information within the weeks of the release of this video. So thank you all for believing in us over these past years. It's crazy to see where the project started, where it is now, and how much is left to go. We are incredibly thankful and we hope to update you all with more great news soon. As always, stay safe and we really appreciate your support. Enjoy our wrap-up showcase including new tracks from our composer Jose Pavli, along with first looks at future content. And so, let's round it off in the usual way. It's time to split!